What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan. I'm BMax45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have a battle report update for the Digimon TCG. We just played in the December 7th Ultimate Cup for Carta Magica. This video will be coming up on the 9th here. We're going to be posting it, talking about our experience, how we did, what deck we piloted, which was Purple Hybrid, as you can see, and how we felt about it, what changes we might make with the deck, what we did like about the deck, as well as other things like our matchups. We'll go through those and tell you guys more about that. This was our first real 2.0 format because we didn't get 2.0 until the middle of the month. Me personally, other people in Canada were delayed, so we didn't see as big of a presence at the November regionals for 2.0. So definitely seeing that change a little bit more and really getting into this new format. We have another Ultimate Cup coming up next week, so we're going to be doing another battle report then, and we hope to do better than we did today. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. So we did top 64. We got 38th place. We just bubbled out of 32. In fact, there was a couple people from 27 to 32 that had the same record of us, which was 6 wins, 3 losses, 18 points. They had better opponent win rates. That's something, if your opponent, if you win a lot of the beginning matches, say you win the first 5, and then you start losing a couple, you're going to have a better opponent win rate because you're facing all opponents that have won every single match, or maybe at least tied every won and then tied one match. So you're facing a lot of people who are winning, and that can be really good because it propels you higher in the standings even if you lose to them. So unfortunately, because I lost sooner and then won my later matches, that created more of a situation where my win rate is lower, so I'm on the lower end of the 18 pointers. Still not too bad, 38th place. I would have loved to get that top 32 and get my final RizeGrey, or sorry, not my final, my third RizeGrey, but I got 3 of all the other guys, and honestly, I just need to try and, I got 3 more Ultimate Cups between next week and February that I can still, 3 more chances to get those 2 RizeGreys that I want, and that'd be great. But like we said, we piloted Purple Hybrid. We're going to get into it, talk about the deck list here. Digi Eggs. We played the 4 Demi Meramon. Draw 1, trash 1 on deletion. Super good, gets the deck going. You need 4 of it. And then the Cupimon for memory game, because you want 5 eggs because you are playing the Uko package. So you go burn through those eggs real fast. Of course, Ukomon, the Searcher Ukomon helps you get into your Duskmon, your Velgramons, and your Tamers, which you really need. So 4 of him is mandatory. This is at 1, so I mean, that's why you play 1. Honestly, I don't know if I'd play more of it. Yeah, the Uko package, really good. And just putting your opponent to 1 sometimes at the beginning of when you go first is really, really good. We got Gazimon here. Gazimon is 2 of. I would like to play 3, but I honestly don't have the room, and I really like the rest of my rookie lineup, so I don't know what I'd cut for it. Gabumon at 2 again is really good. That memory gain is nice. Having another 0 cost to Digivolve into on a level 2 is really, really good. As well as 2 Ignitemon for the Merva combo. Super important. You want to see it. You want to get it into trash. And sometimes it's just really good if it's your only option to go on your level 2. It keeps you moving through the game. And it's when attacking is pretty good too, to clear small bodies like memory chokers. So that's good too. 2 Bokomon. Bokomon's super good. Digs 5. Even if you don't hit a target, it's digging 5, so you're getting closer to the pieces you need, which are the Duskmon and the Velgramon and your Tamer, of course. Tamers. And it searches out any of your purple Tamers, so that's really good. As well, any of your Tamers. Any of your Tamers, sorry, my bad. Not any of your purple Tamers, just any of your Tamers. So that's really great. So Pokemon, really great. Plus, if you get 1 or 2 of it on the board, it's a free or a -2 Duskmon. I played a mirror match, and he got 2 Bokos consistently in both games. -2 Duskmon is gross. We play the 1 Guiomon because I like it as a closing card. Again, 2, it is 1 to Digivolve on, which can be kind of neat first turn. It's not as good as an Uko, obviously, but it does put your opponent to 1, which isn't bad because it still allows you to play on your level 2. But just having it in the trash, trashing it or milling it, and then being able to add it back with cards like Rivals or the Mat, especially if you can use a Jack Raid or a Miss Memory Boost to go back to 3 and your opponent has no security. At that point, you probably have at least 10 cards in each trash. and you can basically go for game. So I do like the Guillemon. If anything, I would cut that for a Gauziamon, but I do like it, and I don't think it really it wasn't detrimental to me. Any time where the Gauziamon would have really been super good. So I'm okay with that. Dustmon and Velgramon, you need 4 of each. You need to see it. Just changing your opponent's color is super good, and then the milling off of this is super good as well. Being able to pump it up bigger than your opponent's biggest monster, so you can clear, check, and then delete it to kill a bunch of stuff is also really good. You got the other 3 hybrids that we run are the 2 Kaiser Leos, the old and the new, and the Rihihimon. These are really good for Merva because you can gain them rush off of the retaliation and their effects. He has an on-play to pop a level 4, which is also really good. And being able to use these guys sometimes in other ways, like, just digivolving on a Koichi, can be really good just to draw cards and keep the game going when you can't get to these pieces. As well as, being able to digivolve this onto a Duskmon when attacking if you don't have the Velgramon in trash. That way you do have his inheritable. Can be really good. Or the Rihihimon from hand for 1 cost. And then you have his inheritable as well if you have a Tamer underneath him. Can be really good. So I do like these as 1-ofs because they also give you more hybrid targets, especially with the Koichi, so that you can discard your hybrid targets to gain memory if you have him on the board. The 2 Merva, super good. It closes out games, helped me mill out when I double played Mervas. So you just got to remember to keep these in your hand whenever possible, because you might not always have stuff to get it back with, but you do have choices to get it back with. But the Merva is really important to help you close out games. So 2 of it I think is perfect. Koichi, 4 of, draw 1, trash 1, and then gain on deletion, gain 1 memory. Super important and really good. So I do like that. You gotta play 4 of them. It's what your deck does. And a 3 cost is so good. We only play 2 of the new one because you don't have as much Tamers to throw away for memory. But it does come up where sometimes you do need this guy on the board, because if you can't get a Mat or one of these cards to get your Dustmon back to your hand, he's really good at when attacking, grabbing a Duskmon that you maybe have milled and adding it back to your hand so you continue the hybrid combo. 1 EG is nice because it gives you memory. You can detach with it at end of turn if your guy doesn't die. Highly unlikely, but just the memory gain's really nice, and it is a 3-cost Tamer that you can digivolve on. 3 Mats. I do like 3 Mats. Wouldn't play 4. I feel like that'd be too cloggy because I don't want to see multiple copies. I want to be able to draw 1, trash 1, mill a bunch, and then play them for free. I don't want to have to play them for 4 costs unless my opponent's giving me a ton of memory. Louis pretty good. Louis really great actually. Well, he's banned to 1 for that reason. It's just really good having that Ukomon combo, being able to turn 2, you go first, you have 3 memory, play an Ukomon for 1, play a Louis, put out the Uko, search, tap for 1 memory, hatch, play another Digi-Egg, and then attack and use the Demimera, draw 1, trash 1 if he dies. Super good, super consistent. So I really like that. And just adds a lot of value to the deck. Rivals Barrage, 3 Rivals Barrage, 2 Deathslinger. I love these cards. Deathslinger, I would say this is the better one, just the mill for memory. Because playing it from your hand's not bad at a cost of 4, especially if you have 10 or more cards in trash. Whereas the Rivals Barrage is a little bit iffy because you don't really want to have to play a 7 cost to delete your opponent's stuff. So you want to mill this. Sometimes it clogs the hand, and unfortunately. So I might think about dropping this by 1 and maybe playing another Death Slinger or another Mist Memory Boost. I'm not sure. I do like this because it's really good at adding the pieces you need to win the game back to your hand. So that's why I like it at 3. But maybe I should switch out the EG for a Mako so I can more consistently mill those Rivals Barrages when I need to. And it also puts cards back on your deck to help you not mill yourself out, so that's always good too. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. Maybe I'll play an Mako. Maybe I'll just take this down by 1. The Mist Boost is great, just being able to mill 2, draw 1, and then have that 2 memory for when you need it, especially in combination with Jack Raids, gets you up to that Merva threshold, which is 7. If you have 7 memory and an Ignite in trash, you can Merva and maintain turn and put 2 bodies on the board, so you can either mill your opponent out or you can potentially rush your opponent. The nice thing is if you play the Guillemon off of that too, it gains rush by its own ability, even though it doesn't gain rush by Merva's. So that's really great, whereas these guys will gain rush off of her abilities. The Valgra apparently doesn't. I haven't checked that ruling, but I can see if it's an inheritable that he wouldn't gain because he doesn't have rush in his own effect, just in his inheritable. So unfortunately, you wouldn't gain rush off the Valgra. But so that's where these guys come in handy, as well as your second Ignite would gain rush. So that's where that comes in handy as well. And then finally, there we have the Calling from Darkness. It's at 1. And the 4 of Jack Raid. Great security bomb. You need it. It just gives you so much value, so much memory. And this just gets the pieces back from your hand. And you don't even need to have anything on board to delete to gain the 2 guys back from hand. So that's really good for 1. So they're all really, really great cards. So that's the deck, guys. A few minor tweaks that I might make, but other than that, it's running pretty good. And part of it was lack of knowledge on my part did play a part in that. So again, I got 38th place. My round 1, I won 2-1 against Lilithmon X in time. I would have won if I had more of a minute to just finish comboing and finish going through security in that turn. So my opponent, who was leaving for work, gave me the match instead of making a tie. So thank you again for them. That was very gracious of them. Round 2 opponent, tie to via X would have been, but again, my opponent gave me the win. As I would have won had we not gone into time again. Just need another minute to finish off the turn. With those purple decks, you're so slow playing that sometimes 50 minutes is not enough. So unfortunately, that was the case there. It would have been a 2. I think it would have been it would have been it would have been 2-1. 2-1 against Leviathan X. Both Leviathan X, I was surprised I had such a good matchup against that deck because I don't really have a lot of things that set off its effects, the Leviathan effects, with except for the Mervamon, and I can just slow play with the Duskmon and the Valgramons, and I can pop their stuff, which I didn't know actually until round 3, and we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so my opponent again was very gracious, gave me the win, so I appreciate that. And then round 3, I played the mirror match against one of the Brick City Discord members, Finns. Thank you very much for letting me know about Valgra, because that made all the difference in the rest of the game. So we played the game out. He turned my Koichi's blue with his Duskmon, and then I tried to Duskmon, not realizing the Duskmon would still be blue, even though the Duskmon can Digivolve on the Koichi because of the abilities. Same with the Valgramon would be blue. So the Valgramon can't pop himself to pop all my opponent's stuff. But what I didn't know is I could pop my opponent's purple Digimon because Valgramon does not say your Digimon. It just says a level 4 or lower purple Digimon. So I could have popped my opponent's stuff. I knew this from when I did my deck profile for the channel, but I forgot because I was always popping the Valgramon. And my own Valgramon, I wasn't thinking that I can make my opponent's Digimon purple and then pop it after I mill and then pop more stuff and just clear their board. Wasn't thinking about that at all, which is silly of me. Very, very silly of me. So yeah, that was unfortunate. Yeah, a Duskmon and Valgramon. So bad. I can't believe I didn't know that. But my opponent was gracious about it because he had just found out a couple days prior. And after the match, which is understandable, he let me know that I could do that. So it really helped with the rest of the matchups. He unfortunately, he 2-0'd me. Just game 1, I did not draw my pieces. And game 2, I might have been able to win had I known that. But he choked me with Gauzy a couple times, and I could have deleted those Gauzies, and so that would have made all the difference. So again, knowledge of your deck is so important because when you don't know stuff, you make misplays like that, and they really change the game state. So yeah, always make sure, there's a meme, and it's reading the card explains the card, and it really is, it is basically the epitome of card games. But anyways, we got a little bit more going on here. That was round 3, so that was my first loss. Round 4, I went 2-0 against Magna X just before time, like 20 seconds before time. 2-0 against Magna X was really good. I have a decent time against Magna X. I can play around it. I can find ways to play around it, so it is not the most difficult matchup. It's also really nice when your opponent doesn't get the Magna X right away, and it's so satisfying when you Ukomon attack into a Magna X as the first security card, and then you draw one, trash one. It's so satisfying. It's the most satisfying feeling ever. In round 5, I went 0-2 against Mirage Galaxy. Got absolute decimated against that deck. I honestly really have to work on how I play that matchup, because that does feel like a hard matchup. So yeah, it definitely is a crazy hard matchup, and I'm hoping in the future I can play it a little bit better. But like, I just could not keep up with the speed of that deck, the memory efficiency. I choked them to 1. It didn't do anything. As soon as they got the Tamer on the board, it was just GG. That deck is insane, and I'm wondering if it's another deck that's going to get hit. Round 6, I went 0-2 again. That was my 3rd loss, unfortunately, against Imperial Dramon. I didn't draw particularly well, and they had a lot of steam on their side. I hit a Progenitor. I hit other things like they were able to pile Dramon really early both games, and just unfortunately was a lot faster than I was hoping. Also had a lot of armors, which was unfortunate because the armors really did discourage me from being able to destroy everything because of being able to armor purge. And having an armor purge on the board while they had their Pyildra, it was just really hard to pop things that I wanted to pop. So that was unfortunate. Yeah, so we'll keep that in mind. Those 2 matchups are ones I'm really going to have to work on. I don't know if they're super hard or just I had a hard time with them, but we'll have to keep that in mind as we go into the next tournament. Round 7, again, I was able to 2-0 another Magna X deck. Like I said, it feels like a decent matchup for me, although Magna X is always scary. And then in round 8, I went 1-0 against Mother Shoto. I milled them out. When I started the game, as he put Mothers and Shotos on the board, I realized I wasn't going to be able to chip security, and I just went straight for a straight mill thing, because every Velgra milled at least 4 or more cards, sometimes 5, but mostly 4. Once he started putting Tamers on the board, I basically said, okay, I'm here to, and you can get over a Mother with a Velgra, because if it mills 4, it's going to be at 15k, so they'll crash, which is interesting. But yeah, but it's just so much easier to mill them out. And at the end of the game, I had 30 cards. I was using Jack Raids in my hand to just gain 3 memory, and I was able to, I was basically able to double Merva and mill them out. So that was really, really good. Maintain turn on the first Merva, play the second Merva, and so it was really, really good. I was so glad. I was able to, it was close. It was very close. But yeah, after that took like a good portion of the match. So I was able to, after the Mother Mill, we actually got into game 2, and I probably would have won game 2 because I had already managed to chip 3 or 4 security cards, get around some Mother abilities, and continue to slowly chip against them, and use their Tamers to my benefit, especially when I can turn their Tamer that they like their Satsuki into a purple, so they can't go into their hybrid, because they can't digivolve on the Satsuki. It's too good, and it makes them have to use their ties and their which give them extra benefits. So it's just really, really good, and I really think I would have won the second game, but we went into time anyways. Lastly, I faced Jessamon in round 9, 2-0'd. Just was super aggressive with that deck because I know it's super good. Always try to clear the board and gain advantage every turn, so that and that's where Velgramon turning my opponent's Sistermon into a purple, deleting it, and then deleting his level 3s, super good, leaving him no support for the Sistermons, is just super good, and that was very helpful for me. And then so just kind of basically just left him nowhere to go, and basically finished out both games as quick as I could. So that was a fun matchup as well. Again, netting me 38th place. I had a really good conversation with the round 9 guy afterwards, so that was really fun. But it was a great tournament. I had a lot of fun. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think I could make a little bit more changes to the deck? Do you think I'm running it the most consistent way I can? Do you think the Rivals Barrage and Deathlingers are too much? Would iMako be better than EG? Let me know in the comments down below. I always love to hear your thoughts about the battle reports and how I did. And we will continue to bring you these battle reports as we do more tournaments. And looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.